Hello everyone, this is Johannes.
And this is Sunniva.
And you are watching Board Gaming Ramblings.
And today we are taking a look at Star Wars Unlimited.
This is a new trading card game from Fantasy Flight Games.
It is a 2-player game and it plays in about 20 minutes.
I am your father. I have a card game. Welcome back from that. Now we're going to talk about Star Wars Unlimited. This is a new trading card game. We are reviewing it based off of the starting set, which you just saw there, which has 2 complete decks for you to play. It comes with 2 paper playmats, which are...
There are not just posters.
And there are also black and white. I don't know why there's no colors, but if you like colors, you can hang this on your wall and have a very nice poster. There's also one for Luke Skywalker, who is the nice guy. Okay, Star Wars
Spoiler alert.
Unlimited. So yeah, this is a review copy sent to us from Asmodee Nordics. Thank you so much. We got a few booster packs. Open them up. That's nice. We haven't like built any decks, anything like that. We're gonna talk a bit about that later. So we have only played matches with these 2 starter decks and starting to know them pretty well. Okay, Star Wars Unlimited is, as many other CCGs, about 2 people dueling. Like it's many. You also have like 2-player duel games like Fantasy, the Star Realms and stuff like that, which isn't trading card games. But here you can buy boosters, build decks, and you can play against each other. So each player is going to have a base, each player is going to have a leader, and you're going to play cards as resources, which you then use to play cards out either as ground units, flying units. It's not called that.
Sky units, space units.
Yes. Air units. They're not on the ground. Not ground units, I think they're called in the game. Ground units, not ground units. Playing these, trying to attack the other player's base, trying to stop the other people's units, trying to play action cards, enhancing the different characters, and doing all of these different, pretty standard 2-player TCG, CCG stuff. So we're going to talk a bit about how it works in this game. But first, let's talk about the artwork and the components, which is mostly cards.
Yes, there are cards in the game. If you like Star Wars, you will like the artwork.
Yes.
It has some really nice Star Wars artwork in this game, which I would expect from this game. And I think the cardstock is good, the quality of the cards.
I think this is original art. Like I know sometimes Fantasy Flight takes like some things from their other games. This looks like everything works well for this game, so I'm thinking it's original art for this game. If we are wrong, please let us know in the comments.
But it looks like that because most of the artwork I've seen, they look kind of the same, so it's the same style-ish.
Yes. I like that the source that comes with deck boxes. So like the only reason we kept the like outer box is because we want to show it in the video. And these playmats, even though they look horrible, are helpful.
Yes, they
because
are.
You have like all of the keywords, you have the reference for how the round works, you have all of the stuff.
Setup, everything you need to know is there basically.
That is true. So I hate how it looks, but I like that it's helpful. Let's talk about the rules.
Yes.
There is a rule book. It is like a quick start rule book, but it has kind of all the rules you need because it's a pretty straightforward game. Like it's not super complex. Like most of these games, mostly when the first set comes out, it's pretty bare bones, and they add on top of that, adding more keywords, adding more 2 types of cards, adding more just stuff to the game, which I think is always nice. It's pretty simple. Like you have how to build decks and all of there's some interesting ways. I can just briefly touch on that now, which is kind of cool, is that every leader has a couple of aspects. Like 2, I think most leaders have 2, and those are kind of the aspects you can use to build your deck. You can build other aspects, but they're going to cost you more resources to build. For each aspect your leader doesn't have, it's going to cost more. So it's kind of like, that is kind of like the mana in Magic the Gathering. Because if I'm building like a red-white deck, I could also put in like a couple of blue mana or like lands to then be able to play blue cards. Here you can put in like a few cards that doesn't match your colors, but then they cost more to play. So if you have like a card that costs 5, it's probably going to cost maybe 7 or 9 to play. So it has to be like super specific or super good to work in that deck.
Yeah, and it also makes sense that Luke Skywalker wouldn't have like an army of stormtroopers with him as well. We have played this game with 2 players because it is a 2-player game.
Yes.
It has taken us about 25 to 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I think that is a great length for this game. It always feels tense toward the end. Like you're building up pretty small things you can do in the beginning, and then you get more and more resources, and then you get to do more stuff.
Yeah. Don't talk about the gameplay. The gameplay is, for the most part, pretty standard. I've played more of these kind of games than you.
Yes, you do.
And like more hours,
Yeah.
especially Magic, which is was my game. And it's most of the times you're doing the same things. Like you're playing units, you're attacking with the units, you are trying to get more resources, you're trying to do these things. A few things I like that are different. One of them is the way that you get resources. Like many cards have specific cards for resources, or like in Magic you have the lands which are specific that you are using for that. But here every round you're going to draw 2 cards.
Yes.
And then you can take a card from your hand and put it face down as a resource.
Yeah.
How did you feel about that?
I really like that because you can, for example, in another game, for example, Magic, you can wait a long time to get a land, or you can get a lot of lands in the beginning and then nothing to actually use them for. So here you also, if the 2 new cards you draw are really good, then you can use something else that you already had in your hand as the resource. I really like the way that they've done that.
When we talk about resources, another cool thing is the leaders, because the leaders are placed face down, which then has an ability on it that you can use every round. The ones we have seen have that. I don't know all the leaders and how all of them works. But then when you have a set amount of resources, you can, as a super action, you can play that card as a unit, and it doesn't cost resources, and it comes into the game ready. Like in most of these games, every time you play a unit, it comes in like, I want to say exhausted. I don't know what it's called in this game. Rotated 90 degrees to not step on anyone's like TMs. Tapped. It comes tapped, and you. But this one comes in ready, and it's a pretty cool thing. So like in the beginning of the game, I feel like you want to place a resource every round.
Yeah, every round, yeah.
And especially, I think it's one of the decks has some like sneaky ways to get more resources.
Oh yeah, that's the Empire.
Yeah,
deck.
so the Darth Vader deck has like a few ways to boost that, to get those bonus resources, because most of the time you're only getting 1. I really like the leaders. They have like they're fun, very powerful. They feel like a cool thing when you get them out there.
Yes, but they are not OP. Like you can get rid of them, but you have to try.
Yes.
I really like how the structure of the rounds feel a little different here from the other card games that I've played in this genre, because here I do 1 action and it's your turn, and we go back and forth until we have like both of us have passed continuously, and then the round is over, and that is different from other games I've heard.
Yes, and you know we played Lorcana, we played all these other ones. I'm used to games where I have like my main phase, where I can play the cards I want, using the resources I have, and do all the things that I want to do, and then it's going to be like your turn after that. So it feels very tactically different from that, because I can say, oh, you're doing one thing, how do I want to answer that?
Yes.
And then I do that thing, and then you answer that, and you get that kind of back and forth. Not kind of, you get that back and forth, which feels different than many other games in the genre.
I agree. It makes you think a little bit different, because when it's my turn, I can't do anything in the order that would be ideal. I have to be like, okay, I need to attack with this unit before, for example, you attack him.
Yeah.
For example, or I can wait till you have passed or are almost out of resources before I deploy the unit that I want to do something with, so I know that he's safe, for example.
Yes. I like most of the gameplay here. Do you have anything from the gameplay? We have only played the starter decks. Do you have anything from that you didn't like your experience? I know you're not usually into these head-to-head games, so we're probably going to get more into that in final thoughts. But
I have one thing that I've thought about, because in other games that I've played, if you have attacked with a unit, he can no longer defend. But here he actually can. So if you attack my unit, which is already attacked, he can still like they attack at the same time and they both take damage. I don't know how I feel about that, but I know that they have their reasons for doing that, so I'm not complaining. I'm just that made me think a little.
I'm trying to rack my brain because I think, isn't it the same in Lorcana as well?
Oh, I think so.
And also, so I think like it really depends. Like in Magic, it isn't that way because then you just attack and the other player chooses to block.
Yes.
I think, I might be wrong, but I think that in most games I play where I attack a specific unit, both attack anyways. But I'm unsure. But yeah, it's different from other games for sure.
But in this game also, you're trying to destroy the other person's base.
Yes.
Not like, I can't defend my base with units in the same way. So that also, it's different. So I don't dislike it, but I just thought it was interesting.
Absolutely. One thing is that we have only played the starter decks. And we played it quite a few times. And if I were to play the game more, because I like the game quite a bit, I would have to have other decks.
Yeah, I agree. We have played like both switched up, and I feel like they're both fun to play. They feel different, but I agree. If I would play it more, I would like some more cards.
I wouldn't sit down and play it 10 more times with just these, but that's never the point for when you buy a starter set in these kind of games.
Then it would have been Star Wars Limited would be the name.
Yes.
Aha!
So, have you ever made a deck in a deck building game?
Yes, I have.
Oh. In what game?
I tried doing it in Lord...
I was thinking you were going to say no, so I was like, oh, what's going on?
I think I tried to build a deck in Arkham Horror, the card game.
Yeah, but there you don't build a deck, like you get the starter deck and you get new cards.
I
so
have built a deck for Lord of the Rings, the card game.
That's true.
But did I enjoy it? No.
No, I think like it really depends for me because I never, even in Magic, I enjoyed making constructed decks. I always played limited. That was kind of my limited. That was kind of my way of playing. I never been into the deck building, so for me this is a game I really like. But I would have, if I want like seek out to play it more. I love opening boosters. So if I were to have a booster box, I think I would enjoy like making a couple of decks or just like have a couple of play styles because the gameplay is enjoyable. But just like this, I feel like it's an obvious thing, but don't buy this and think like it's a whole game. Like it is a whole game. You can play it for a few times, and probably if you don't play it a lot, you can play it here and there and enjoy it. One thing, of course, to think about with these kind of games is that you never know how long they're going to live.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to keep these kind of TCGs alive. Magic, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! Those are the ones I know which has survived like forever. Other games come and go, and it's I know some people are kind of hesitant to like jump into this kind of game, so just know that when you jump into it. If you want to make it a lifestyle game, then we don't know how long it's going to live. Of course, we do not know how long it's going to live. So, wait, and who is it for?
I think this is a lighter game. I think this, if you want to tap your toe into the water of trading card games or really love the genre and want another one to explore, or do you just want like a casual game but you're really Star Wars fan, so this really fits with your theme, then what are you doing?
No, I just want to say, or if you just want this cool poster.
Or if you want the cool poster, of course, that too. Then this might be something for you.
Let's go to final thoughts, but before we do that, if you are new to our channel, you can help us out in a very big way by giving us a victory point.
And we get victory points when you click that subscribe button. You can also click the bell to get notifications every time we post a new video.
Yes, and now, final thoughts. Star Wars, not limited, but unlimited. This is a Spark of Rebellion starter set.
I really liked playing it, and this is not my genre of games. This is not the game that gets me into trading card games, but I don't think any game will.
No.
But if I would pick a game from that genre and play, this might be it actually, because it's simple, it's fast. I'm a fan of Star Wars. I think it's a cool universe that speaks more to me than, for example, Magic the Gathering. For me personally, I think they have some new takes on already classic mechanisms of the genre, which I really enjoy. So I'm going to give this a 7. It's a good game.
I like playing Star Wars Unlimited. I think it's fun, and the fact that you enjoyed it as much as you did made it even more fun.
Yeah. You
didn't hate your time with it, which is just like over most of these kind of games. So I think as a starter set, it's a good starter set because you get 2 decks, you get the deck boxes, you get like everything you need to play for 2 people. I don't think like it's as you said, it's not one that you're going to play just this and enjoy that. So I wouldn't be sad if there was like a community of people playing this nearby, and I could like jump in and play around there and there because I enjoy the game. I think it is a fun game. I cannot tell you if this is one that you should go and jump on, like depending on what kind of games you like. And if you think like, oh, I need a new lifestyle game, probably Magic or the ones that have been around forever is more safe that way. But for me, I think this is going to be like a 7.5. I really enjoyed my time with it. I would like to play it some more. And it's so simple, like you just take these two and you have some tokens and you can begin playing. So I enjoy my time with it, and that is going to be the end. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Johannes.
I'm Sunniva.
And you've been watching Board Gaming Ramblings, and bye-bye.